Hi everyone, welcome back to our literary talk show. I'm Sarah Hicks.
And I'm Grayson Busch.
And today we're going to be talking about Georgia peaches and other forbidden fruit. So Grayson is going to be talking about the themes that we're going to be talking about in this book.
In the novel, we are presented with the theme, individual versus society. In this case being the main protagonist, Joe, who is against the norms and practices of the town of Rome, but is forced to conform to them to appease her father, who wants to make an impression on the town and to his wife's close-minded family. Joe also struggles with her Christian identity intersecting with her queer one, feeling like both identities can coexist, but in the small town of Rome, these identities do not always mix, with queer characters finding it hard to find their place in religion and other characters of the town viewing homosexuality as displaced from religion in itself.
Absolutely, thank you. So today we're going to be specifically talking about how the novel uses Joe to navigate the differences in gender roles between Rome and Atlanta through her struggle to find acceptance in being a queer teen with strong Christian values in a conservative society in the South. So how feminism plays into this novel is, within the novel, it attempts to question the one-sided stereotype of rural Southern America and religion's outlook on gender norms, and provides a complex narrative describing the intricacies of the Southern people's understanding of gender. And as well as this book also plays into feminism ideas, it also plays into the themes of Southern literature, as Grayson has seen.
This book treats its Southern setting as a backdrop and less of a focal point of the novel. Most of the characters presented do not fall into the trap of being typical Southern stereotypes, aside from maybe one of the characters, Mrs. Foley, who is an archetype of the close-minded, small-town influences, not accepting of what lies outside of the town of Rome. It is only more accepting to outsiders that try to assimilate and conform, such as when Joe gets a makeover and pretends to date George. As far as aspects of Southern culture that is presented, a sense of strong belief in religion is one of the only elements.
So today we're going to be just discussing some questions that we have for each other and discussing the book more in depth. Do you have any questions for me, Grayson?
Oh yes, actually I do. How does Joe's outlook on the characters of Rome, especially the girls, change or stay the same? Does she still assume certain stereotypes with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Joe is a great example of someone who's evolved over time. She definitely, whenever she was going to Rome, she definitely had this idea that, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to fit in, I'm not going to find anybody who's going to understand me, and so I'm going to need to like put my identity down and kind of like back in the closet to keep myself from to be able to find friends. And I think she really evolves and sees that that stereotype is not necessarily true. She finds Mary Carlson, she finds a group of friends who might not be accepting 100% at the time, but they grow into understanding her and loving her for who she is. So I actually have two questions for you.
Okay.
Can you discuss specific quotes or instances in the novel that support our idea that Joe is used to navigate our theme?
Yes, I can. One quote I found in the novel, which was from Joe's point of view, was basically stating, "I can make some real change and talk about being young, queer, and faithful," which is definitely a statement that Joe believes in, because that's her whole motivation for trying to like move to Rome and accept her father's idea of wanting to lie low, because she wants to spread this awareness that LGBT people can have a place in the church, that those identities don't have to be a separate thing.
And then my last question for you is, what outside sources have you found to support our ideas that we've been talking about so far?
I actually found an article dealing with gay and other LGBT identities and how Southern churches view them, and this was like a focus on how LGBT Christians can find acceptance in their church communities, with a quote from the article. "The moral center of the gay Christian reads that, the way I see it, everyone here has to come out of the church to come out of the closet, but we ended up coming back to the church, and maybe that means the church is where we were always supposed to be." And to me, this quote really sets the theme of the novel, which how Joe basically feels like, even though she came out of the closet a long time ago, she still feels like she's a Christian and that she can have that identity. And same thing with Mary Carlson, as she just recently came out of the closet, but she's totally okay with being gay, and she wants that identity to be known to her other identity, being a citizen of Rome.
Thank you so much, Grayson, for bringing those ideas. Those are awesome quotes as well. Now we're going to be moving to Madison and Taylor to discuss some different ideas that we brought through the novel.
Hi, welcome back to our literary talk show. I'm Madison.
And I'm Taylor.
And today we're going to be talking about feminism and how it relates to the queer part of the novel. relating all back to our thesis.
Jo identifies strongly with her identity as both a queer individual and as a Christian. She wants to be able to use her Christian platform on her dad's radio show to be able to educate others on queer issues and to possibly be able to open the minds of the closed-minded people of Rome.
Absolutely, and with the feminism part of that, the girls in this novel are what you would think as like your stereotypical girls, as they like are obsessed with boys and their appearance and what they look like, and they don't really break out of gender norms until Mary Carlson comes out, and then they kind of realize that like things aren't always so like black and white. And also on the other hand, the males in this book are seen as like very powerful and like sexual beings, especially with like the football boys that they talk about, and also the pastor kind of almost seems like he is in charge of the town with like his sermons.
So, Madison, how do stereotypes affect Jo's view of other characters throughout the novel?
Well, I think Jo has a pretty good sense of character, and that like she feels that Mary Carson's like sexuality isn't straight, but also because she's so like seen as such a feminine character, she like doubts her instincts upon that. And I also think that she stereotypes Elizabeth in that she thinks that she won't be accepting of her queerness because she has such a strong role in the church and like Rome in general.
How does the feminism fit into the Christian narrative?
Well, I think in today's society especially, it's like unusual to have like a queer teen that's like so religious, because the two don't like really go together. But in Jo's case, like she uses her like feminist views to like push herself farther into the church. And then how do the gender roles of other queer characters in the novel affect Jo and her own identity with gender roles?
I would say that, as you mentioned earlier, Mary Carlson is very feminine, and Jo for a while is a little confused, like, is she straight? Is she gay? How does this work? Like, she keeps passing off hints, and there's little things here and there, but I just don't know.
Right.
But she also, you know, she again, she's very feminine, and you know, at first is very boy crazy, or at least appears to be boy crazy, but then she learns the truth.
I think that about wraps up our show. We just wanted to leave by saying that like the novel written by Brown is very unique in that it ties together feminism and queer theory and Southern culture into a Christian aspect, which you don't get a lot in young adult literature. All right, well, I think that's all. Thanks for watching.